Okay, so I know the new season is literally less than a day away, and I should probably just wait and see how the Fighting Lion nerfs feel before I make a video talking about it, but I had a lot of people asking me what my thoughts were after the TWAB, and I know a bunch of people are going to ask me once the season starts, so screw it, I'm talking about it right now. Okay, but for real though, in Thursday's TWAB, Bungie announced a bunch of changes that were being made to the weapon sandbox, and there was a pretty big list of changes being made to Fighting Lion. And by changes, I mean almost exclusively horrible nerfs. So let's go over them. The biggest change Fighting Lion's getting is that its base reload speed is going to be nerfed hard. Its base reload speed is normally 55, but starting in Season 15, it's dropping all the way down to 0. Yes, literally 0. If you own the Catalyst, its reload bonus will still apply, and its new reload speed will instead be 27. To compensate for this, Fighting Lion's getting a new ability where dealing damage to multiple enemies with a single grenade will put its reload speed back to where it was before the nerf. How many enemies do you need to hit? How long does the reload buff last? I don't know. On top of the reload speed changes, Fighting Lion's also getting all the same changes that special ammo grenade launchers are getting, which is a 0.4 meter blast radius nerf, a flat 20 blast damage reduction, and a 12% PvE damage buff to counter the blast nerf. Also, it's listed on here like it's an actual change that its reserve ammo is being increased to infinity, but that's just because it's a primary ammo weapon, and in Season 15, every primary weapon in the game will have infinite reserve ammo. Also, one last thing that isn't a direct change to Fighting Lion, but it still affects it, the quick swap glitch is being patched out. So if you're used to doing that, it'll take just a little longer to swap from your Fighting Lion to your kinetic. So what do I think about all this? Well, obviously it hurts seeing my favorite exotic get hit like this, but I understand why most of these nerfs needed to happen, and I really don't think they're going to ruin Fighting Lion. The blast radius nerf is totally justified. Special GLs have had a little too generous of a blast radius for a while now, and the flat 20 damage nerf probably won't be that big of a deal. The flat blast nerf keeps special grenade launchers from one-shotting while you're in an empowering rift or something, and the biggest impact this change is going to have on Fighting Lion is that now you can tank a Lion and 140 hand cannon headshot combo with 7 resilience or more. Otherwise, rapid fire guns are just going to take an extra bullet or 2 to kill, which I don't think is really going to hurt their performance that much. Now, the reload nerf is the only change that I really have a problem with, but not because I think it's going to make Fighting Lion bad, but because it's just going to make Fighting Lion clunky. I know Bungie wanted to put a stop to the infinite Fighting Lion spam around corners and shit before it could even really begin with the infinite ammo change, but Fighting Lions basically always had infinite ammo, and Fighting Lion spam never became a problem in PvP. It definitely could have become a problem now that Fighting Lion has true infinite ammo, but with the blast radius nerfs and the damage nerfs it's getting, I think it would have been fine. Unless you're really good at bouncing shots and can guess exactly where people are standing all the time, most of your shots are going to miss entirely or deal maybe like 60 to 70 damage to someone, probably even less. And even if you do hit somebody with a full 124 damage, they'll have more than enough time to move somewhere that's completely safe. This isn't like the hard light meta where 50 damage hit scan bullets were bouncing around 3 different corners, and when you try to run, the random recoil happens to send more bullets into your back. If you just back the hell up, Fighting Lion can't hurt you. If you're really worried about how this infinite ammo buff is going to affect PvP, just wait until you see 2 coordinating sweet business titans. I also think this nerf is going to suck in PvE because it's really going to hurt Fighting Lion as a dedicated primary weapon. For dealing with groups, it's supposedly going to feel about the same as before, but as soon as there's a single slightly chunky enemy you need to deal with or some straggler bumming around somewhere, you're going to get hit with an awful reload speed unless you spend special ammo or an ability to proc thin the herd. It'll still be good in PvE, but what's really going to matter here is how long the new reload speed buff lasts. If it lasts for a few seconds and refreshes on each multi-hit, then it'll be manageable, I guess. But if for some reason the buff is really short-lived, it's going to make Fighting Lion just a pain in the ass to use. Even if the buff is generous, I still hope Bungie ends up rolling it back because I don't think it's going to be necessary on top of all the other nerfs Fighting Lion just got. Thankfully, on the Destiny Massive Breakdown podcast, Bungie's weapons feature lead Chris Proctor said that he's not even sure that Fighting Lion needed this change and that they're more likely to pull back on some of its nerfs instead of nerfing it further. So hopefully we'll only have to deal with Clunky Lion for a bit. The last thing I want to talk about quickly is the quick swap glitch. It was fun to do and it honestly kind of sucks to see it go, but it's not going to ruin Fighting Lion. With Fighting Lion's Catalyst, you already got a huge swap speed boost from Chimera, so quick swapping didn't have that big of an effect on it. It was faster, sure, but it's not like it was required. Now to kind of go on a bit of a tangent here, and I'm probably going to upset some people with this one since I just said quick swapping wasn't super important on Fighting Lion, but even though the quick swap glitch was a skill gap and it was fun to do, I don't think it deserved to stay in the game. Not because it's inaccessible or anything, but because the skill gap it provided just isn't healthy for the game, and because it caused balance issues, of course. Now there's plenty of famous examples of exploits that became fun features in games like rocket jumping in TF2 or the very idea of combos in fighting games, but exploits like these usually have some kind of caveat to them that makes them interesting. They're either niche or they need some kind of specific setup to do, they cost something to do, or they're just hard to pull off. Quick swapping isn't any of these. It's not hard to do, it doesn't cost anything to quick swap, it takes no setup, and it's useful on literally every single weapon in the game. There's never a point in Destiny where you should not be quick swapping. It's less of a mechanic that raises the skill ceiling and more of a requirement to play efficiently. It also of course made some DPS loadouts way stronger than normal and invalidated the handling stat. And if quick swapping stayed in the game, all these weapons that were really good with it would have just gotten nerfed into the ground to compensate, and that would have just hurt anybody that wasn't quick swapping. Like I said, it was fun while it lasted, but it had to go, man. So after all these changes, people have been asking me, am I still going to use Fighting Lion? Am I still going to be a Fighting Lion main? I mean, yeah, did you just listen to what I said? I said these nerfs aren't going to be that bad. But yeah, I still think Fighting Lion is going to be a great weapon. It's not leaving my inventory anytime soon, and it's still going to kick ass. It'll just feel kind of weird. But hopefully that reload nerf will get reverted or something and it'll be back to normal. Well, maybe not normal, it'll still have those other grenade launcher nerfs, but I don't know, just get rid of the reload nerf, Bungie. I don't think you need it. And with that, that's going to be the end of this video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about these nerfs. Do you guys think Bungie went too far with them? Are you fine with the Fighting Lion nerfs? Do you think I'm a grenade launcher crutching scrub who needs to use a real gun and upload more videos? Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in Season 15. Peace.